Thank you. Hello and welcome everybody to this meeting of Fresno City Toastmasters. I'm Chanel, the current club president. I will start off by reading our club mission statement, the mission statement for our club and Toastmasters as a whole. We exist to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Welcome to everybody who's here today, including Forrest, who's returning after a couple months of being away. Good to see you. As always, I want to thank Michael Wu for allowing us to meet at his business in person every week very generously. Thank you, Michael. I'll go over the rules for Zoom meetings just as a refresher. If you are joining on Zoom, please use jazz hands in place of applause so that we don't get any feedback onto the meeting. And if you are multitasking, try to still maintain eye contact and be as attentive and present as possible while in the meeting. And if you are giving a speech or an evaluation, please stand up if possible. So there was a couple of last minute changes to the agenda this morning, and everybody has the agenda in front of them. Are you all good with the rules that you have been assigned? It looks like Sarah Dawson is not here. She was assigned for off counter. So do we have somebody who can take that over?
I can do that.
Or you already have a role. Let's see, maybe somebody, Forrest, I know you haven't been here in a while, but would you like to take that on?
I'm sorry, Chanel, what was the role again?
For off counter?
I would be happy to do that.
Yeah, the person who counts the crutch words as any transition words that are out of place or last too long, like bow in hand.
Absolutely, I'd be happy to.
Great, thank you so much. Okay, with that, I would like to pass the podium virtually over to our Toastmaster today, who is Kalani. Please welcome Kalani.
Hi, everyone. Those who aren't as familiar with myself, my name is Kalani Young, and I'm going to be the Toastmaster for today. Today's topic is Thanksgiving, and it's one of my favorite times of the year. Unfortunately, at this point in our lives, we all understand that the origin may not be as joyous as it's become today, but I'm a firm believer that not everything that starts off ugly can be turned into something beautiful. I think that we've done a great job in today's world of turning it into an event that is celebrated with copious and excessive amounts of food, beverages, games, and music. A pre-game to Christmas, if you will. That's enough of my rambling. I will go ahead and pass the podium to our general evaluator of the day, Chanel West.
Thank you, Kalani. I am going to be the general evaluator today, so I will be making sure that the meeting runs smoothly and efficiently, and also introducing our evaluation team. So firstly, I would like to call up Joey as our grammarian to introduce the word of the day.
Thank you, Chanel. Our word of the day, I just posted in the chat. For those probably seeing those little bubbles pop up, the chat bubbles in Zoom. The word of the day is ostracize. There is the how to say it there, ostracize. It's a verb used with an object, and the definition is to exclude by general consent from society, friendship, conversation, privileges, etc. Used in a sentence, she was ostracized at school for her peg leg. To help compensate for her loneliness, her father, who believed her to be the most like him of all his daughters. So I will be monitoring who uses the word of the day, ostracize. And I think grammarian also does like normal verbiage, English verbiage, all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'll be doing.
Thank you, Joey. Next, I would like to call our volunteer Forrest up to the podium to describe the role of off counter.
Thank you, everybody. Uh, My role as counter, and I just broke that rule, is to count all the ums and ahs and the crutch words that people use in general conversation and record them and report back to the group. There it is again at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
And I'm going to be our timer for today. For those of you who are on Zoom, I'll be standing here when we have table topics. The table topics are 2 to 3 minutes, right? And so when you reach 2 minutes, I'll turn the green light on. When you reach 2.5 minutes, I'll turn the yellow light, and then I will turn the red light when you reach 3 minutes. And for Michael, who is giving his speech today, I will be doing the timer in person so that you can see it for your 5 to 7 minute speech. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
And then finally, I would like to call up Joey again in the role of Zoom Master.
Thank you, Chanel. Yeah, I will be taking on the role as Zoom Master, making sure that we spotlight whoever's speaking and recording this session. So to move it to the cloud so we can get it up on YouTube, because I guess we've gotten a few guests from YouTube, which is nice. That's the first few. And that was one of the new things we started last year, I think, was putting everything on YouTube thanks to 2020. So that's all I'll be doing. Zoom in the meeting and so that we can get it recorded and put up on our channel.
Sounds good. And Michael,
Yes.
I'm gonna introduce, the Toastmasters gonna introduce you, but can you maybe tell us again what your speech
Yes,
is on today?
I need to get up there or top over here directly.
Just tell Kalani, and she's gonna introduce you.
So Kalani, you're my evaluator, right?
She's the Toastmaster.
Oh, you're Toastmaster. Okay. My speech today would be the third level of my pathway, which is to implement a project. So my project today was to identify a social issue and find the root cause of it and find a solution to solve this potential problem. And that is my speech topic of the day.
What's the title of your speech?
Implementing a project.
Okay, very
So-
good. Then I would like to introduce Kalani as Toastmaster to introduce Michael's speech.
All right, everyone. Today we have a special speech today. It is not only the person who is allowing us to host our live meetings, but a newer member of our group, Mr. Michael, who will also be going through his third level in pathways, if I say that correctly. And it will be implementing a project. So without further ado, Michael Wu.
Thank you, President. Fellow Toastmasters, good afternoon. Today my speech title is a project. So my project was to identify a social issue and try to find the root cause of it and find a solution, suggest a solution to how to solve this issue. Now, the social problem I identified is recently the big news that we all heard of is the Texas ban on abortion, basically. And Supreme Court cited a technical issue to allow Texas to implement the ban effectively forbids all people from doing any abortion. Now, it of course caused a lot of problems, a lot of socially controversial, and I tried to identify the reason behind it and see why some people are against it, some people want to promote it, and how we can solve this issue so we can move forward as a nation. Now, I looked at it, the root cause of anti-abortion, basically the majority of the reason is people cite their religious reasons, because for some reason, a lot of religious organizations were always against abortion. Now, the root cause of religious organizations' stance against abortion is actually business, because all religious groups want actually grow their congregation. So they want to actually promote more birth rate. And Catholic Church even is against contraception. Now, to be fair with the religious organizations, it's actually a good thing to promote high birth rate. From a society standpoint, if we have more people, we have more production, we have more collective wisdom, we can have more science and technological breakthroughs. Now, that being said, is banning abortion good in promoting population growth? It's not black and white that easy. In some cases, it is, but in other cases, it's not. Now, let's find out the reasons. Now, if, for example, in a normal marriage, a man and woman, they're in a stable financial situation, and they have a couple kids, and they don't want to have any more, but by accident, they conceive another one, and out of laziness, they don't want to carry this child to full term. They want to seek an abortion. That is a bad decision, because if they give birth to this child, the child can have a very good life and become a very productive citizen in the future. So in this case, we need to educate this couple to keep the baby. Now, in other situations, for example, if it's a teenager in high school, just because of inexperience in life, had a casual sexual encounter and got pregnant. Now, if she can go ahead and abort this baby, then she can finish her school and go to college and find a really good career and start a family and have many more kids in the future. Now, if she's not allowed to have an abortion, she would have to quit school and to support this baby and work a minimum wage job for the rest of her life. Then she'll only be able to have one baby for the rest of her life. So if you look at a situation like this, one baby is better than zero, but 3 babies is better than 1. So if we look at long term, if one abortion allows more future babies to be born, then this abortion should be allowed. Now, for example, in my own case, during my marriage, I was having a discussion with a religious person. They said, "Now, I know you love kids. If your wife's fetus, like you're pregnant, your wife's pregnant, and we found out that she has the fetus has Down syndrome, would you choose to abort this baby or keep this baby?" My answer is, it depends. Now, if this baby is our first baby, then we would elect to abort this baby because we were young, we don't have a lot of money. If deformed babies born, it will take a lot of resources, a lot of time from us. It will prevent us from having future more babies. If we can abort this one and we have more healthy babies in the future, then that makes more sense. Now, on the other side, if this Down syndrome baby is our last baby and my wife is not going to have any more, then we would choose to keep this baby. Because again, 1 is better than 0, but 3 is better than 1. So if we look at it in a more informed and educated way, then we can find out how can we solve this issue. For example, if a teenage girl is pregnant and she doesn't have financial resources to care for the baby, and she doesn't want to be ostracized in society, and we have a religious organization who are against abortion, then what we can do is we can organize a kind of nonprofit organization to pair those unwanted pregnancies with couples who want to adopt children. And we let market decide the price. If the girl needs to be compensated for her work to carry a baby to full term and give up for adoption, and she wants a certain amount of money, and let the other couples see which one can come up with that one. If they don't have enough money, then let the second couple who has the money to buy the baby and let them come up with a match. If they have good matches, then boom, it's a good win-win situation for everyone. If you don't have this support system, we just have a blanket ban on everyone, then you're gonna leave a lot of people in distress, especially people who are poor and who don't have resources. And so that's the issue I identified, and I think we can all do in our society to help out, to reduce the unwanted pregnancy and reduce the abortion at the end. And thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster.
Alrighty. Thank you, Michael. I absolutely respect your ability to talk about a very tough topic. It's a very spicy topic without the fear of being ostracized for your point of view, whether right or wrong. That being said, we're going to go ahead and start with our table topics. Who is our table topic master? It is someone.
Denny.
Denny.
I'll shake hands with you.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Good to see everyone, including Forrest, who we haven't seen in a long time. That's great. Thanksgiving. Obviously, we're going to talk about something we're thankful for. One of the things that I love to do with my husband is say thank you. It's so easy to live with somebody and forget to say thank you to them. To our children, to our husband, to our parents, to our partner and our parents. So I try to say thank you to my husband, and I try to keep a good sense of humor at home and be a person that's easy to live with. And that makes our household nice. So that's my way of saying thank you to him, is providing a household that's pleasant. So our topic for today is going to be, who would you like to say thank you to? It can be a member of your family, it can be a member from your, it can be somebody from your past, from your educational experience, from your whatever you'd like. Somebody you'd like to say thank you to, and why? Who would like to go first?
I'll go, Denny.
Joe.
So I'd like to have a good thank you for my kids, the little nuggets, we call them. Sometimes it gets really tough. We have a 5 and an 8-year-old, 5-year-old girl who's going on 16. We got an 8-year-old boy who's going to be 9 here pretty soon. And we have the boy, many of you have heard me say, is an aim first, fire second. And the daughter is more like me, where she's fire first, aim second. So think about that. I was just having a conversation with some friends today. We were baseball friends, coaching type friends, and we were talking about from different generations. So my kids are younger compared to the other two friends. One of the friends is a junior in high school and is dealing with trying to recruit and get him into college. And then the other friend has 2 boys who both played in college. One's actually playing for the Giants right now as a pitcher. Tyler Beede, B-E-E-D-E, I think his name is, for those Giants fans out there. And we're talking about Walter has the 2 boys, the older boys. And he was just saying how in Little League, when you're coaching your kids, like where I'm at kind of right now, that you take it for granted. And that's the fun time. That's the pinnacle of the kids being the kids. And then when they graduate Little League and get into junior high and then high school, and they graduate there, go to college. And then if they're lucky enough to play professional ball and these different milestones, you miss them. One of his boys, Walter's boys, had won the College World Series, I think in 2014 at Vanderbilt University. And he realized from the moment they won and they dogpiled on the mound and the whole thing, he realized that wasn't going to happen again. So that was pretty powerful, because you think about those milestones, and although fun going through it, you have to be in the moment when you're working with the little nuggets, if you have little nuggets. And that's the one thing I'd love to thank my kids for, is being where they're at and not trying to fast forward to a point in time that's way too far in advance, and to really be more in the moment with them. So that's what I'm thankful for.
Thanks, Jelly. We forget to say thank you to our kids, but they're awesome. They give us a lot of stories in our lives, that's for sure. Who else? Did you say Monica? Was that you?
She was wet. She was. Heather.
Here you go.
Heather.
I think that if I could say thank you to anyone, I would like to say thank you to my husband, Kyle. This last year and a half, 2 years has been very strange despite the pandemic. I know a lot of people are going through their own issues right now, but for me personally, I have been dealing with some friendship issues. Friends that I thought would be best friends forever are no longer my friend. And that was really hard for me to accept because I mean, it was just as bad as if I was going through a breakup with Kyle, because this is someone that I've known for a huge part of my life and had expected that she would be there forever. She was my maid of honor. She got us together. It was just one of those people that I never questioned, never thought she would be there or would not be there. And unfortunately, the relationship changed between the two of us. And it just made me realize how Kyle is truly my best friend. And I'm so thankful to have him as a husband. I know some people are in marriages where they don't feel that way about their husband, which breaks my heart because I feel like your husband should be your best friend. And I just want to thank him because I really leaned hard on him this last year. And he's just been my faithful companion and someone I can lean on. And I'm just so thankful for him. So that's who I would like to thank today.
That's awesome, Heather. Thank you. I love happy marriages, and so much of that has to do with attitude and remaining grateful to each other. Who else would like to go? Michael.
Thank you, Madam. Who should we be thankful to? Now, in our family, when we teach our children, we teach us the good things. We never lie to them. For example, they came to school, they lost a tooth. They say, I put tooth in the pillow and I can extract some money from tooth fairies. Now, yeah, you can get some money, but not from tooth fairy, because there's no tooth fairy. Your parents will give you some money. So be thankful to your parents, not to some imaginary things. And each time in our, what's that called? Christmas time, after Thanksgiving, our kids will get into gift planning stage. They'll secretly ask their siblings what they like, and then each of them will get some money and go to the store and secretly shop for their siblings and hide the gift away. So on Christmas morning, we have this big gift opening party. We all get around and we'll give each other gifts and we'll all have a blast. So we tell them to be thankful to your family members, to other people around you who help you. We never teach them anything about Santa Claus because we know that's just fairy tale. There's no Santa Claus that's going to give you any gift. Gift come from people. So be thankful to other people, not to imaginary things. Thank you so much, Ms. Dan.
Thank you, Michael. Who else would like to say thank you?
I can go.
Yes, Chanel.
Thank you. This is a very nice, heartwarming topic. Much easier than some of those other topics that have been put out there, like what's the most suffering you've ever gone through in life, or what's the meaning of life, and those other great existential topics that somebody has been coming up with. I today would like to thank my Nana posthumously. I think some of you have heard me talk about her before. She passed away about 2 years ago. But she was somebody who I think I can say perhaps more than anybody else in the world that I've known really loved me with her whole heart, with every bit of her emotionally. And I have 2 younger sisters, and the 3 of us girls were her only grandkids. And she loved us so fully that it was very palpable and tangible in her presence. And something that I always really appreciated about her maybe not always, but as I grew older, something that I learned to appreciate about her and that I still think back on and use as encouragement is that she was always proud of me for what I was doing, no matter how small or insignificant it seemed. I remember specifically there was one semester in college where I was trying to earn money for an internship that I wanted to do. And I got a second job working at McDonald's. Now, for most of us, we kind of see working at McDonald's or fast food entities like that as not a very impressive position in society. But my Nana was proud of everything that I did. She was proud of me, even for working at McDonald's. And I think that it is good for everybody to have at least one person in your life who thinks that you are amazing, no matter how successful you are or not. So to my Nana today, I would like to say thank you.
Thanks, Chanel. I'm proud of you for taking a second job at McDonald's. That's awesome. And that's a great reminder to me. I have a granddaughter at home, and you know, when you live with somebody, it's really easy to sort of take things for granted and not always say thank you or not always say how proud you are of them. Good reminder. When I go home, I'm going to tell her again. Who else would like to say thank you? We have a couple more people here.
All right, I'll give it a shot.
Go on.
So before I begin, I don't want y'all over here thinking that I'm not grateful for anybody. I just couldn't pick anyone. So that I wanted to talk about for a full minute, because I can truly, as an adult, when you start raising children and you start questioning why certain parts of you want to instill certain values, you start to really dissect yourself and your beliefs. And I'm such a well-mixed belief person from different people that have influenced me in my life. But if I had to choose one person or thing to thank, I'd say it'd be the city that I'm from. And that includes my parents, my grandma, my friends, because I grew up, I don't need to name the city, but it's about an hour outside the Bay. We grew up fast, but holy moly, did I learn so much. I learned how to be a scrapper. I will outwork anyone. I have my own back. I have great taste in music. If you guys ever need a playlist, I know how to cook better than most people, twice my age. And I know how to have fun. And that's one thing that I really learned, is knowing when you're safe to have fun and knowing when it's time to kind of turn that switch and time to grind. But I wouldn't change it for the world. Does not mean that I'm not planning on going back and changing a couple things now that I'm older, but I'm 100% thankful for everything I experienced.
That's great. Thank you, Kalani. One thing about getting older is it's so lovely to look back and sort of change perspective on things. It's the beauty of getting older, really. Who else would like to go? We still have a couple more. Forrest?
I was just going to say it.
Thank you, Denny. I will take a crack at this one.
Do it.
We say thank you to the people that we're grateful for. And when I think about the people I am grateful for, there's two people that come to mind, and they are my adopted parents. They took a orphan 16-year-old, and without any responsibility to them, they were just family friends, but they realized that I had nowhere to go, and out of the goodness of their heart, they took me on as their son. And so I wanted to thank my adopted mom and my adopted dad. They have been such pillars in my life, and they continue to amaze me with their beautiful spirit and their just their wealth of understanding and their total capacity for empathy and just the good people that they are. And now that I'm in my later 30s, I look back on what made me who I am today. And it was them. Large parts of me are because of them. And I'm so grateful for that, because I recognize the beautiful things in them. And when I think about the beautiful things in me, it comes from them. And so I'm very grateful for that, and just to have people that out of no obligation decided to do that. And we've had a 25+ year relationship now, and they continue to amaze me with how wonderful they are and just how steadfast they are in their decision. They decided when I was 16 to take me on, and they have never wavered from that through all the twists and turns in our lives. And, you know, with Thanksgiving coming up, we all think about what we're grateful for, and family is a big one. And when you lose your family young, you know, you find new family, that is something to be grateful for. So thank you.
That's awesome, Horace. Thank you. I remember even from your icebreaker, you go deep every time. I love hearing you speak. Let's see, I think we have one more left. Would that be Monica?
Yes, that's me.
You want to start?
Okay, let's try this. Okay, so there are many people that I would love to be thankful for, but when I hear the word thankful, I go back to my sophomore year in high school. This is my home economics teacher. I was very ostracized by other counselors because at this time of being a sophomore, I was also pregnant. They had placed me into this home economics class, and this teacher that was there was very very supportive. I didn't have to take an egg to school because obviously I had the real baby at home. Um, and she went to, when I had my son, she actually went to the hospital where I delivered, and she gave me a baby bottle set. It wasn't nothing big, but it was something little. And the message that she had behind it when she went to see me was, make sure you do good in life, and you're just the smartest person that I know. You're going to do so much better in life. I went on to the military. I graduated from Fresno State. I went back to thank her when I was older. Unfortunately, this teacher had passed from cancer. So I hold that dearly because you never know who you're going to inspire. And your legacy lives on with others as you go. And I'm very thankful for that. So I never wasted time thanking other people, and giving them the strength that they can become whatever they want to become. Have a good Thanksgiving to you all.
That's awesome, Monica. Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
Thank you today for a great table topic. You know, it's a lovely thing to run into people that are grateful.
Mhm.
They make really nice people in the world. So thank you, everybody. And now I'm going to turn this back over to our general evaluator.
Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master. As general evaluator, I'm going to go ahead if she's ready and turn it over to our speech evaluator for today, who is Heather, and will be evaluating Michael Wu's speech. Please welcome Heather.
Thank you, Chanel, and thank you, Michael, for that wonderful speech. I applaud you for talking about the tough subjects and not shying away from that. So well done for that. So to begin with your evaluation, I do want to say that with the Zoom in-person hybrid, it does make it a little bit hard to hear sometimes just because of the echoes, but I feel like I got a good majority of your speech. So I just want to be honest with you on that. But you were within the frame and you did wonderful hand movements. You're always smiling despite talking about some harder subjects, which you did a wonderful job again of explaining what you're going to talk about, which was implementing your project, and the social issue, which was the Texas abortion ban, and how, you know, we can make it better, or find the root cause and find a solution, is what you said. So you brought that up in the beginning. You talked about what you were going to talk about. You provided some reasons, which I felt like I would challenge you to maybe look at it a different perspective as well, maybe not just the male, but also the female perspective. I think that would really help you get some ideas when it comes to different reasons other than just, you know, a teen mom or a family with 4, maybe 5 babies on the way, or the 5th baby on the way. I love how you talk about some of the ways that you can solve this issue, like a nonprofit organization. So I immediately thought of Planned Parenthood. I would overall say that it was a wonderful speech. I thought it was very thorough. You had like that little sandwich. You started at the beginning, you explained what it was, you talked about it, and then you wrapped it all up nicely. If there's anything I would add to that speech, I would maybe focus on like the preventative, so like before the potential pregnancy, so like other solutions, and then maybe after as well. You again talk about like the nonprofit organization, but what can we do to help you know, continue taking care of these people that need that support. But overall, I think it was well done, and I really enjoyed it, and I hope that we can hear some more tough speeches like this in the future. So thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Heather.
Thank you, Heather, for that. One thing that I really appreciate about our club is our ability to have different opinions, but be able to communicate without ostracizing each other. Danny, could you hand me that piece of paper that I got? So for evaluation, I'm first going to call up myself to give the timer report for our speech, table topics, and evaluation today. Michael, your speech was a little bit over 7 minutes. I think you were within 7 minutes and 30 seconds though, which if you were in a competition with Toastmasters, 30 seconds is a grace period.
So still
That you
qualified.
could go over, so you would still qualify, yes. So good job on that. And I think you noticed when I clicked the timer on also, you were very aware of that and trying to
Wrap up.
stay within the bounds. For table topics, Joey, you were right at 2 minutes. Heather, you were about 1:25, so right in there. Michael, again, you were about 1:20. I did time myself for table topics. I was a little bit over. I was at like 2 minutes, 10 seconds, which has been happening more often lately. Interesting. Kalani, you were about 1:50, right in there. Forrest, you were just a tad over at about 2 minutes and 10 seconds as well. And then Monica, you were about 1.5 minutes with your table topics. And Heather, on your table topics evaluation, you were about 2 minutes and 40 seconds. The time range is 2 to 3 minutes, so you were right in there. Good job. Next, I would like to call up Forrest to give us our off-counter report for today.
Thank you, Chanel. So my role as counter was to count all the crutch words that we use. I am notorious for using there we go. I'll just get right into it. The Toastmaster Kalani did a great job. I only got 2 ahs from you, and that was it. Darn it. I can't stop myself. Chanel, you had 2 ahs. Joey, you had 1 so. I had at least 5 ahs, but I'm sure there was more. Michael Wu, you had 2 ahs. Very good. Danny couldn't find one crutch word in your speech. Heather, you had 1 so, 12 ahs, and 2 likes. Monica, you had 1 so and 4 ahs. And that is my report as the ah counter.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very, I appreciate that. All right, next is Joey with our grammarian report.
Thank you, Chanel. Let me know if I missed any of you, but I caught Michael Wu, which is impressive because that is very impromptu when you got a speech to be able to fit that in. So Michael Wu, way to go. Kalani, she worked it in. Monica worked it in. And Chanel. Did anybody else? Did I miss somebody? Chanel, right at the end there. She got it in. Way to go.
Okay, thank you. Good job, everybody. I will give the overall meeting evaluation real quickly. We did good today. It looks like we're going to end a little bit on time. Thank you, Michael, with your speech. I know that it can sometimes be hard to pull that off, especially when you feel like you're doing it last minute. But it's really good for our club to have speeches and to be able to add that element to our meetings.
Didn't we have another speaker?
Yes, yeah, Farron wasn't able to be here today. His son is pretty sick. So if you guys, if you pray or if you have good wishes, if you want to send them towards Farron's son, I think she would really appreciate that.
Not COVID, is it?
No, it's not good. So with that, I will launch into our rewards for the end of the meeting. Denny is my assistant. Could you also please hand me those stickers?
Yes.
Thank you. She's been handing me everything. So virtual sticker to Forrest for taking on a role at the last minute. Thank you. Jumping right back in there, getting in the groove. Virtual sticker to Joey for taking over as grammarian and Zoom master also at the last minute. Thank you, Joey. And sticker to Michael for his speech today. You can put that on your name tag. There, yep. I want to give a reminder that we are not meeting next week. We're going to take the week off for Thanksgiving. So if this is something that you sometimes have trouble fitting into your schedule, you can be thankful. You get a week off. Happy holidays. And I don't know if we have any guests today. Monica, are you still technically a guest, or have you joined? Maybe somebody can remind me. I'm not sure where we're at with that.
Yep, she's joining today. Go ahead, Monica. You can.
Yeah, so everything will be submitted by today.
Oh, awesome. You've been.
So congratulations. Welcome, Monica.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Yep, definitely. Congrats for a new member. That's awesome. So Joey, are you going to help her get into pathways and everything?
Yep. She said she's going to send everything over, and then I'll send her the email that's a step-by-step getting in the pathways. And then Monica, don't hesitate to reach out if you got any questions on any of it. It's pretty, I just went through and step-by-step, I did it myself and the whole thing. But with Toastmasters, we always know with their website, there's always something popping up that's screwy. So just let me know.
Awesome. I'm excited. to learn how to speak, I guess. Not just kidding.
Well, I can say with your table topics today, there was a lot of depth to that.
Mhm.
And you did really well. So I'm excited to hear you bring some of that depth to your full-length speeches.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, we obviously don't have a meeting next week, but we can assign goals for 2 weeks from today, which will be November 30th. The theme will be classic literature. And I am going to be giving a speech. I put myself in the box. I'm going to be giving a speech. So can we have people, we're going to do signups for Toastmaster, General Evaluator, Table Topics, and Speech Evaluator for me.
You can put me for General Evaluator, Chanel, on that next day, the 30th.
Okay. Thank you, Joey.
Speech evaluation.
You want to evaluate my speech?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. Michael's going to evaluate my speech. And can we get somebody to be Toastmaster, please?
I can do that.
Okay, you do it a lot. Does anybody else want to do it?
Do what? Toastmaster?
Toastmaster, and Forrest and Monica, you are both members, so you can do any of the roles as well.
Let me do the pathway stuff first. Yeah.
That's
Yeah. And then I'll gladly next Tuesday I can do roles.
okay.
Can't say
Oh, not
that.
next Tuesday, Tuesday after.
Mhm.
I can't say I'd be the best, but I would definitely give it a shot. I haven't done that yet, or at least I don't think I have been
Which
the
one?
Toastmaster for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Put her down.
for sure. Is
Okay.
there anything that you have not done, Heather?
Yeah, I think it's the Toastmaster and Zoom Master that are the only two I haven't done. I think I've done all the other ones.
Okay.
Hmm.
And yes, definitely
Yeah.
Toastmaster. Kalani, if you're going to be here, would you like to do table topics?
Sure, I may be traveling, but if I am traveling, I'll at least send them to someone to fill so it won't be last minute.
Cool.
Okay, just let us know within a couple days before if you think you'll be able to make it.
Of course.
All right, and Denny, I'll put you down for Marion. I'll counter. Sure.
And then Forrest, did we get you signed back up or do we have to do that?
I'm pretty sure I'm signed back up, but if you'll let me know if I'm not. I know I made the payment. If there's anything else I need to do, just let me know. I
Okay,
will be gone the week of November the 30th, so I apologize. I won't be able to take a roll on for that day, but I will be back after that.
Okay. All right, I'll
But
check
Joey,
that.
yeah, please let me know, Joey, and I'll do whatever needs
Yeah,
to be done.
I think we took care of that. I was just thought bubble in my head.
Thank you.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Joey, for taking care of the new member stuff and returning member stuff and getting everybody signed up. Do we have any questions, comments, complaints, compliments? If you have compliments, you can direct them to me. If you have
Complaints to
complaints,
Denny.
to Joey.
To me. I tried to dump them on Denny
No.
or Michael Wu. Maybe we should make complaints go to Michael Wu.
Yeah. You move the microphone. Can you hear
What?
Chanel? Can you hear Chanel? Okay, I moved the microphone a little bit closer to
Yeah,
her.
can hear her better. Yep.
Good,
That's an
okay.
improvement. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, we can do that in the future then.
Yep.
Oh, thank you. All right, if there's no other comments, then I want to say happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope that you have an enjoyable time with family, friends, loved ones, whoever you're spending it with, and we will see you in a couple weeks.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye.
Bye.